internet brings comic fans around the world into one comic community. We support the just pay and recognition of these comic creators' comic fam. Because comics are for everyone. It's 10 p.m. Eastern, live from the United States to Australia. This is the Not Near Mint Show. Welcome to the Not Near Mint Show, everybody. It is New Comic Book Wednesday, April the 6th, the first Wednesday of the month. We have a very special guest tonight. His name is Doug Wagner. You might know him from a couple comics that came out over the last couple of years. One of them being Plastic, 2017. And this that just came out over the last couple of years. Well, this year and last year just finished up and is coming out in trade. Oh yeah, Vinyl, one of the best series about a serial killer who has dementia, and his best friend just so happens to be an FBI agent that hates his guts. He's been kidnapped by a cult, and he's his only hope. Oh God. It's one of my favorites that came out, and we have him here tonight, folks. Let's bring him in, along with the rest of our panel. Good evening, gentlemen and gentlewomen and gentle NB.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
What up?
Evening.
What's going on?
Very nice to meet you, sir.
Oh, very nice to meet you too.
Oh, we're fucking wonderful. Trust us.
I believe
Join
you.
us. We love your work.
Thanks so much.
I can
And by
tell
that
you,
first F-bomb, you know what to expect. No expectations.
I can hear that you have a bit of a southern drawl, sir. May I ask where you are from?
Originally, I'm from Florida, but I grew up moving all over the South. So, as you probably picked up, and if you know anything about Southern accents, somehow when I was a kid, I picked up pieces from every state so that I don't sound like I'm from.
That is so interesting. I've never heard of anything like that.
Okay, so tell me some southeastern states that you've lived in other than Florida.
I lived in Jackson, Mississippi for a while, in
Okay.
a couple of different places in Alabama, and then in Georgia as well.
Okay. I was here in Alabama and Georgia. I'm a Tennessean myself.
Yeah, we're out in Tennessee.
Nashville.
Oh yeah, that's where my brother-in-law lives.
Yeah. I ain't
So-
bashful. I'm from Nashville.
I love it.
So how did you get into comic books, Doug? So you look like you're about my age, maybe a little bit younger, probably younger because I feel old as hell these days. How did you get into comics, man?
Man, I mean, it's one of those classic stories, especially for people in our generation. Like, I mean, to be honest, it was a 7-Eleven in the comic book rack. Like, I mean, I was a kid. I was in there for a Slurpee. I saw the comic book rack, walked over there. I was probably like 5 or 6. And, it's hard for me to remember, obviously, which one it was. But it was something like the Flintstones or Casper or Hot Stuff. And that's what got me started. And, dude, after that, I mean, I read that one. And from there on, I was hooked. Like, it built up to, where eventually, I'd probably say around 8, I found, like, Avengers and Fantastic Four and X-Men. And it just kind of built from there. And, I mean, I didn't even know comic book stores existed. This shows you how kind of, I'm a little slow. But, like, I didn't even know comic book stores existed until probably I was 17. And then I was like, wait a minute, you can get these in a comic book store? I thought you had to, like, go every week to the grocery store to make sure you got your next issue.
Well, and it depends on if you lived in like a rural or like an urban area, because I the first time I encountered comics was at my grocery store. Like it was on a spinner rack. And I didn't know that comic shops existed until I was about 11 or 12. But they did have one. It was like a sports card shop, but it also did comics and stuff. And remember, like in the early 90s, like comic cards were big. Like I have a massive Marvel comic card collection, and like I'm not even like I'm proud of it. I'll flex. Like and I have an absurd like savant like knowledge of extremely useless Marvel comic card information. But back to you.
I love it.
What are some What are some favorite titles of yours growing up as a kiddo?
I mean, to be honest with you, like I got hooked on X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, when I was probably
Same.
about 14, 15 years old. And that was, this will show my age. That was like the Chris Claremont, John Byrne kind of
That's
run. And
when
that was
Claremont
like,
hit. You
oh
probably
yeah,
fell in love when the new team got formed.
yeah. I mean, I hit right at when you remember the Hellfire Club.
Oh yes, the 130s,
Yep.
132.
Hey, you just picked that up.
Yeah,
What's
I
up,
picked it
Jeff?
up off the rack with
Sebastian Shaw.
Yep.
Boom.
You remember the one with Wolverine's in the tunnels?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I picked that up. That was, and from that point on, I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize you could do comics like this. I didn't realize, you could write and draw this well and make such a great story.
And it's like a family. Yeah. I found the dynamics, the interpersonal dynamics. If you make it like a family, if you really add like character, if you make these people human, oh shit. Just good stuff. Like it's adding the human to the superhero. So not the super bit. It's the common humanity bit.
Yep. And I think for me, and I think this resonated with a lot of people back then. What I loved about the X-Men, especially back then, is it was a group of mutants who were fighting, kind of defending mutants and humanity, even though humanity hated them.
Yes.
And I was such a weird kid and had such a hard time. I was constantly bullied, all that kind of stuff. Nobody, I didn't get along with anyone. It just resonated with me. I was like, oh, this is me. I still want humanity to be,
Yeah.
I would still fight for humanity, even though they won't accept me.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
real talk.
I fell in love with, like, so my prized possession, like my number one title that I collect is Uncanny X-Men. I fell in love with Uncanny X-Men because I resonated with being different. So like I grew up in a farm on a 150 acre cattle farm in bumfuck Egypt, 30 miles south of Nashville. And I was smart, and I was curious, and so the idea of people are all there's all they're on the fringes, they're not quite accepted, but they'll take in others who are on the fringes, protect them, and also try and protect humans, but still lobbying for them to be able to integrate and live peacefully. That's fucking ace, dude.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah.
Back when you had like hope and morals and, like you actually thought it might happen. That's just great stuff to live on, man. That's what I lived on. I loved it.
Oh yeah, same.
And you could entirely tell back in that generation when you had the Claremont X-Men coming out that this was a fan that read all the masters that came before him, and he would eventually come to be somebody that everybody would look up to that was of the younger generation. And here we are today looking back on this, and we see these new creators coming forth, and they're looking up to people like possibly even you, Doug, and it's one generation creating another generation of artists and writers, and it's something that I love about comics. And with the movies coming out, it brings that much more people into the books, because let's face it, if there's people not reading this stuff, why do we have all this stuff around us if
Brother John saying that his brother fell in love with Uncanny, while he fell in love with New Teen Titans. And
Ooh.
I'll say for my end, I could never get into DC because it was always too gritty for me. It was always too street level gritty for me. So that's just. But I'm a little younger than you guys, so I was hitting around like Frank Miller kind of times, and that's like, okay, as a little girl, as a 6 to 8-year-old girl, I'm not gonna be reading like that stuff. Dark Nightshade.
Well, my best friend. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead with what you're going
I
to
was
say.
going to say my best friend at the time was Cully Hamner, and he's drawn. I mean, he's read. We can talk about all the things that Cully has drawn over the 40 years of his career, but like he was a huge Teen Titans fan, and so like he was a Teen Titans guy. I was the Uncanny X-Men guy. I'll tell you what we narrowed it down to. I always thought Teen Titans were too pretty.
Okay.
I love the X-Men because they were like, you had
Gritty.
Nightcrawler, Colossus, the
So
Beast, Wolverine. Like I identified more with that, and I think he's a better looking guy than me, so he identified better with the better looking superhero.
this is what I always thought. I always thought that DC's characters were more static and not as well developed as Marvel. And because Marvel had more of the kind of soap opera facet to it, like they are fallible, they err, they have interpersonal conflicts. With DC, it's just like, y'all are fucking perfect. All right, whatever. Beautiful, perfect. And so it's like, I do like the messy bits because that's where you can have that shared experiences,
One are gods with no flaws, and all the flaws are by the people around them. And in Marvel, everybody that's a superhero and villain are all flawed.
Mm-hmm.
Brother John says Cully is a handsome, handsome man.
So now that we've been talking about what you're into, the things that you've been reading, at what stage did you go, you know what? I've been reading enough of these here. I think I'm ready. I'm going to sit down and write a script. How did that work out, and how did it come about?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to Cully Hamner and I met in high school. And so Cully, he was sitting in the desk next to me in a class, and he was drawing. And I was like, oh, back then, you had to be careful who you told you were into comics. Yeah, and so like I was like, hey, or that whole like, hey, so I see you're drawing. What are you drawing? And you're like, oh, he's drawing Nightwing. Okay, are you into comics?
Yeah.
And so like the whole like fallen in.
I don't know if you know Southern Comic Geek, but he's in this community and he is from Mississippi, and he has said nearly the exact same thing. Like back in the day, like it wasn't cool that you were a comic reader. And so like you couldn't just like tell anyone. It was like a low key.
Try growing up in the hood and being into comics. Like it was.
Try being a girl.
Bad.
Try being a non-binary in the South.
Oh,
I can say nothing. That's why I'm at the bottom, being a cis white male. I can say nothing.
Yeah.
And that's I think why we take respite in the comics is that we're all people that you can't put us in a box, bro. And that's why we identify and use, I think, these forms of stories to escape, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then from there, it led to like we just started kind of creating our own characters.
Man, me and my friends did that. Yeah, we would.
Oh yeah, all the time, right? It was just so much fun.
Yes, and like, I remember when we did these things. Like, we made our own little advertisement, except it was like boogers for bubble gum, and like I don't know, just weird, the stupidest stuff. But it's like we drew it out, but we did comics, and like my buddy always like was the best at drawing like Cyclops. I was the best at drawing like Wolverine and Jean Grey. Like we each had like the ones that we could focus on. It was so awful and nerdy. And if we played, like I was always Jean Grey, he did Cyclops. I hate Cyclops, but it just is what it is.
Yeah, nice.
Sorry, I just
Bring
let
it back
that go.
like they didn't. That's nice.
He gets on my nerves. He's a beta.
Yep.
After that, Cully and I like spent a lot of time like just creating these stories, and it took me about 6 months, because I did say earlier that I'm slow, so like it took me about 6 months to go, oh wait a minute, I'm writing comics, and then I got the bug, and from that about 17 years old on, I was like, hey, I want to be a comic book writer, much to the chagrin of my mother, but like, I got the bug then, and I think the reason why I got into writing comics, eventually making money at it was because I was just so hard-headed and refused not to write comics.
What was the first comic you wrote about?
Oh, the first comic I wrote about, this is a weird one because I figured out later on in life that I have always been writing. So I think the first character I ever created, probably I was around 6 or 7, and his name was Butcher Knife Man because that's what was in the kitchen and made it easy for me to play Butcher Knife Man, right? And so I wrote all kinds of stories on an old typewriter about Butcher Knife Man, and it was just his adventures of like him and his 2 butcher knives, going around saving people. That's all it was. Stabby, stabby.
Stabby, stabby.
Stabby, stabby.
Stabby, stabby to the rescue.
Yeah, so I used to watch old SNL stuff with Gilda Radner because I was just like obsessed with Gilda, dude. Thought she was like the funniest person ever.
Oh, amazing. She's amazing.
Her and like a Madeline Kahn from the Mel Brooks movies. My God. Those are just Mel Brooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if I've been tangential.
It's okay.
We do that around here.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not
There's no guardrails. There's
Squirrel
nothing
mode
keeping us
activated.
on track. We just talk about comics. The fact that we have writers and artists on that can talk about the things that they love, in addition to the fact that they're putting out their own books. And just to remind people here that we do have the writer of vinyl here. And we should probably ask a couple questions about this. So how did you wind up getting the idea here about a serial killer that's going through dementia? Was this something with some personal reflections in your life? Was this some research? How did this come about?
It's a mix of like, I heard a song one day and it made me think, it got me on this quest of, I have a lot of friends, but if I got into serious trouble with something like, let's say, a drug gang or the mafia or something like that, and I needed help, who would I call?
Would they be down?
Right. And so there's friends I know who wouldn't be down with murder, and usually I am not. Like,
hey, a friend will help you move. A friend will help you move. A real friend will help you move bodies.
Exactly. And so it kind of got me on this like, oh, well, imagine if you had a serial killer who was a friend and you got in trouble, would he come save you kind of thing? And honestly, that's where the whole thing kind of started, going down that road. And then when the dementia part came, when I was actually reading an article and it talked about how music was helping people with dementia remember what they'd done. And I was like, are you sure you want to remember? And then it led right into Walter. So that's where that all kind of came from.
I didn't even get that correlation. That was an actual study. That's crazy.
Oh, there's been a lot of studies about.
I gotta look into that. That's crazy.
So yeah, like Alzheimer's patients or people that have like lost memories or have become nonverbal, like you'll end up playing like music that they listened to, I guess, during a younger day or something.
Memories.
And then it just, they'll just start singing like
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy when you start looking at the research.
And it will lift their mood and, their cognitive capacity is elevated for a short time afterwards, It's so weird, the brain, like, man.
There's music therapy where you can just play music, you can memorize things. They had stuff like that on the Disney Channel back in the 90s, where if you wanted to remember something, you're going to use your memory palace. This is how you create one. And
memory palace.
I gotta do that before I hit 50 or 70.
Memory palace.
Because I'm like, here's my playlist, grandkids. Play this for me when I forget.
There's some skeletons in my memory palace.
Something I don't want to remember.
Exactly. And that's what all came from.
Nailed it.
Now I'm kind of wondering with Walter, is there a certain song that if you wound up in, let's say, a sequel, I don't want to ruin anything, but if there would be a sequel to something where Walter would be in it, is there a particular song that might just, rather than calm him down, set him way the fuck off?
Yeah, I mean, that we'd have to wait to see on that one. It's I mean, if you picked up on the songs he picked, he's more in that classic like blues, jazz, Robert Johnson, Ella Fitzgerald kind of, realm. Yes. So,
Okay.
Yeah, is it Miles? Is it, Chuck Berry? There's all kinds of directions you could take that in, right?
What comics like, so, like I read comics, but then like there are some that I've read that it's like, whoa, I didn't know it could be this good. I didn't know it could be this powerful. Like, so within the context of X-Men, I'll just say the God Loves, Man Kills graphic novel. Like,
I
the
still
things
haven't
that
read that.
transcend the genre. Good. So, what in your lifetime of being a comic nerd have you read that you think are pieces of work that you were like, dude, this pulled at like some heavy, deep parts within my little soul, and this has transcended like what just regular comics are?
Yeah, and I mean, for me, the original Phoenix Saga was all. I mean, that one just when I read that, it blew me away. That like I cried when I was reading that. It was so powerful to me.
Oh my God, this man.
Yeah.
It's so funny. All the things. No, I'm just like, yeah, I'm a huge Phoenix fan as well. Yeah.
um, Dark Knight, the original one, like I mean, it was so different and so dark and so like it was, I wouldn't say necessarily that one was as emotional to me as the Phoenix Saga, but it was definitely a powerful book. The Killing Joke, and I'm not, it sounds like I'm a huge Batman fan, but I was never like a huge Batman fan. But the Killing Joke is one of the best comics
Yeah,
ever written. Oh, go ahead.
that disturbed me.
When I
Yeah.
read The Watchmen and V for Vendetta, those two were like, wow, this is really good.
Oh yeah, those are classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I read them both in college, and just really loved them. And that was the first kind of, oh, like this is good was the God Loves, Man Kills. Was the first thing that really like hit beyond, like it was kind of a universal, or you know what I mean? Like just one of those good stories. Hits it out the park.
And then I kind of remember back being younger where, the 90s did not have the greatest of superhero stories. There are some exceptions like JLA by Morrison, but overall, if you wanted to read decent stories, you had to jump over to like the Vertigo titles and some of the darker independent stories. And now that we have transversed into the 2000s, and now you're getting more adult level Bendis type of stories, decompression, 6-issue arcs instead of something told done in one. Now looking at comics being modernized to the way it is today, looking at Marvel and DC, is there anything where you go, there's a character I might even have a story for without telling us? Do you have any characters in mind for either of the big two? Now that David Pepos is writing Savage Avengers, what would Doug Wagner do?
I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record here. I mean, there's always, if I could ever get a shot at an X-Men book, I would just love that just to have a bucket list kind of like.
There's a lot of titles to grab on.
There's like 20 of them. New titles today.
Did
you read House of M?
Yes.
What did you like?
Oh yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
Me same. Okay. What do you think about Hickman on X-Men?
I'll be honest, like when they first did this, and you remember it was just 2 titles.
Pox.
Yeah, Pox.
I loved the first 2 titles when Hickman jumped on and there was just 2 of them.
Yep.
They lost me when they went to the 14 titles.
When they went to the umpteen billion.
Yeah,
I have
keep up with it.
I have House of X and Powers of X, and then I stopped buying after that. And like to me, it kind of feels like a betrayal for me to say I like anybody other than the Claremont. I don't know. It's just like those are my X-Men. That's who I identify with the most.
These are my X-Men.
Oh yes. New Mutants, yes, and X Factor, like the Simonsons.
Yeah,
oh my God,
I love X Factor.
Yeah, Strowman. So when Larry Strowman was doing X Factor, I adored it. I loved his style.
Yeah.
And then when they first came out with Generation X,
dude, I really liked it for Generation X. Like I think I read like the first 15, 20 of them. Like I dug it. Like was it like Skin, Husk, Monica, or what was her name? And the Penance, like Chamber, all kind of, and then White Queen was a teacher. So cool.
What run of X-Men is this?
Generation X. It was really cool. Yeah. And then what was the guy's name that was the bad guy? It was like EMP. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, it's been so long I can't remember his name either.
I don't know. Whatever.
I couldn't remember 5 years ago, let alone the 90s.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Here's the most important question.
Uh-oh.
Your comics. Do you have a comic collection?
Oh yeah.
And talk to us about it.
Well, it's not large. A couple of years ago, I kind of had to back off of I had too much, and like I told you, I moved a lot.
Tell us, Doug Wagner, what is too much?
Too much. Too much is when you hit your 50s and you have to carry it up 3 flights of stairs. Long boxes become a problem. So
Yeah.
Did you go from like 10,000 to 2,000 or 200 to 20? Let's talk about the scale.
I'd probably say, because I'm picky on what I keep. So I would say I was at 5,000 and I'm probably down to 1,000.
Okay, cool. All right, look, I'm just going to admit to you my little problem. I'm at about 4,000 and I need to get rid of about 1,500. I want to keep 2,500 because I'm selfish.
So, lady, are you telling us that you're ready to get rid of some books and you have an auction that you want to announce?
No, I'm not.
I'm not ready to take that step yet.
No, don't put me in that position yet.
Baby steps.
Also, another important question. Another important question about your acquisition of 4-color paper. Do you get books every new comic book day, every new Wednesday? Sorry.
I don't do every Wednesday anymore. Just because obviously when the pandemic hit, that kept me from doing a lot of things going to the stores. They did ship them to me on a regular basis. Cool. I'm more of a once a month guy, but I do have my pull list, so I don't have to worry about missing a whole lot of stuff.
Okay. How many titles are you on?
Probably around 10 to 15.
Okay.
And I usually pick up about that many every time I go in as well.
Okay. Interesting. And do you read and get rid, or do you get trades? Like, what do you do? I say, like, what I like to do sometimes is, like, if I'm not sure about something, I'll just wait, get the trade cheap and read it. If it's something that I care about, like Uncanny X-Men, and I'm going to buy it.
Right. And mine's a split, just like yours. Like sometimes I pick up the trade, sometimes I pick up, the individual issues. And it's just a wonderful mix. Most of mine is independent these days. I love independent comics.
Yeah.
So that's where I tend to lean the most now.
So, what are some recent indies that you've read that you found quite enjoyable?
Let's see. I mean, always a Saga fan. Brian K. Vaughan. I mean, just killed. I love his stuff. Paper Girls, Saga. Love both of those. I've been picking up Rain lately, which I find really enjoyable.
Love Rain.
Oh yeah, Something is Killing the Children. Been enjoying that. What was the Department of Truth?
Yep.
Enjoy that. There's so much. There's so many more. What's the new one that Scotty Young was writing?
I think was it the Many Lives of Layla Starr?
Rom V.
No, I'm trying to think. Something in the Dark.
The Me You Love in the Dark.
That's it. Perfect. The Me You Love in the. Oh, yeah. I'm loving that book. Like what those two are doing on a storytelling side, like the way they're doing panels and the way they do these like non-sequential steps through storytelling is just brilliant. So I love that book.
I know. I will. I'll put you through the ringer with these tough questions, hard-hitting journalism.
I also have a hard-hitting question.
Hit me.
What is your favorite ABBA song?
My favorite what?
ABBA song? Yeah.
Oh, Abatha. My favorite Abatha?
ABBA's the song.
ABBA the band. ABBA.
Yeah.
Man, why you gotta put me on the spot like that?
Swedish pop band. Are they? I think they're Swedish.
Yeah.
Oh God, and I mean that's technically just before I started really getting into music as a kid. Hit me with some titles, Ace.
All I can think of is like I Can Be That Woman, but
Dancing Queen. Sorry.
Dancing Queen.
Dancing Queen is incredible.
Take a
Keep an
chance
eye
on
on
me.
Dan.
You know what? Take a chance on me. Take a chance on me might be my favorite
Take a
ABBA
chance on,
song.
I love
Take a
that.
chance on me.
Yeah.
And also,
Oh, go ahead.
what is the one? Fernando, there was something in the air tonight.
Oh,
The moon was bright, Fernando.
Lay
Yeah.
all your love on me.
dang it!
The winner takes
You
all.
and me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Air Spider here. How many books are on that poll list, sir?
You just
I mean,
said it.
yeah, I did say 10 to 15 I think is where I'm sitting.
Do you
right
not
about
listen,
right
Rob?
now.
Do you have
No,
ADHD?
it's because I'm trying to pull it back around here because after about half an hour, we wind up showing some comics. So we wanted to find out, would you be willing to show us some of the books that are on your poll list if you're at home and you're willing to show?
Yeah. Hold on
Okay.
a second. I got my read pile over here.
Well, as you're doing that, we're going to move into the second part of our show, and you're going to be first off. This little portion of our show is called Comic Book Therapy. Here we go.
So, what exactly is the problem? Tell Dr. Wurst.
It's Swole Black Cat. I see her in my dreams.
It is okay. Swole Black Cat cannot hurt you.
But what if I want her to hurt me?
What?
What? What?
What?
What were you going to say before, lady?
What? Oh, I was Ace. Ace, have you seen Muriel's Wedding?
Not yet, but I have it on my to watch.
You've got
list.
to because it's like a whole ABBA based.
I know.
How can you not have watched Muriel's Wedding? You're
You
the
have to do it, please. Please, please, please. Like in the next week, I'll watch it with you.
Okay.
Can we, let's
This
do,
weekend's
have
movie
movie
night.
nights.
Okay, let's do Muriel's Wedding this weekend, or just as, like right now. We'll just get off. Let's just turn this off. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Doug, you want to watch
Yeah.
Muriel's Wedding with us?
Yeah.
this weekend?
Moving
Yeah,
on, Comic Zombie.
Rachel Griffith, and Toni Collette. It's great. It's a great film.
How is there
I
a
heard- I
movie
heard
with
the
Toni
Spider's
Collette
checking it
was
out.
based around ABBA that I've never seen? What is my life?
I'm here to give you this. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're gonna watch this and you're gonna be like, Caroline, you are so fucking cool. And I'll be like, I know it. I know it.
I already
if you
think
don't say
that.
it like that, yeah, if you don't say it like that, it doesn't mean anything.
Classic line from it. You're terrible, Muriel. Sorry. So good. They live in a town called Porpoise Spit. It's the shit. Sorry, I was digressing. You were going to share titles of
You were
the
gonna
10
show
to
us
15
titles.
that you pick up.
Yeah, these are all on my read
What's up,
pile
Nasty?
that I haven't, I forgot about Redneck.
Oh,
Okay.
hell yeah.
Yep, love that. Been enjoying this one from Black Mask, God Killer.
Oh,
And, I already mentioned this, so we'll keep going. Big Jim, a food fan. So Girl Scouts I always pick up.
I need to get that series.
I'm not. This is killing me because I love Mateo Scalera so much, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. But got King of Spies on the list.
huh.
We already
I don't think I've
mentioned
ever seen
Rain.
that.
Love
Okay,
this
yeah.
book. I haven't checked it out yet, but Little Monsters,
So good.
Jeff Lemire. How can you go wrong, right?
You can't.
Jeff Lemire wrote it. I'm getting it.
Yeah,
I thought you had it.
and it's Dustin Wynn too. So given.
Yeah.
And then I picked this
I
up
know.
because, dude, I can't. Peach Momoko.
Is that Momoko?
Every time she put. I haven't even looked in the book yet. I don't even know what it's about. It's just the cover.
I know. Look, I'm about to show
Come on.
some Russell Doderman covers that's the same reason.
So yeah, that's the stuff that's on the top of my reading pile at the moment.
Very cool.
You know what you should pick up? There's a comic from Image called Soft Boy and Rockstar, or Rockstar and Soft Boy, I can't remember. But it's about ABBA.
Oh, then I'm picking it up. If you give it, if it's your suggestion, I'll buy it.
10 out of 10 bucks. Rob,
Um,
you're muted.
Rob, you muted yourself.
let's show some
It's
comic book
probably all
shop.
for the best. So who wants to show some books next? Ace, you got any books this week? Lady or Kirk?
I don't have anything.
Kirk?
Kirk?
I have some things. This is not
Some
my whole...
things is better than nothing.
Show the some
Yeah.
things.
So I first of all, I want to give a shout out to my comic book shop, Cape and Cow Comics, Oakland, California, best shop in the world. They know I've been struggling a little bit, so I haven't been able to come in and pick up my books, but they still let me pick them up. I paid a portion, so they gave me a portion, and I'm picking up the rest this weekend. So I will show you what I got, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, that came out like months ago." Sorry, and yes. For those that are like, oh my God, there's no plastics, I have to go get some. So, got some Aliens 9.
Yeah.
I can finally continue reading that.
Does it have aliens in it?
I think so. Not too many, though. Not too many, like one.
That's kind of like the first
Alien to
movie.
me.
Here's Woman Without Fear, number 2. I can finally continue this series.
That's
I need to
cover.
get Devil's Reign.
Who's
Oh,
on
yeah.
the art, bro?
Let's see who was
It
on
looks like
this
there's a
art.
signature along leg
Bloop.
or the pole.
The dark.
I don't know.
Yep.
De La Torre.
Is it? Are you
De
sure?
La Torre.
Well, he may have. Well,
Well,
okay.
so Darcy's right. Let's see.
Isn't that the same book?
Open it up and take a look. Writer, we know Chip. Yeah, Rafael De La Torre
Okay.
is the artist. Color artist is I cannot pronounce that. Somebody else wants to try.
Oh, let's see what does it say? Jorge Fornes.
Oh, that's the guy that does all the blinds.
Fornes. Oh, I like the blinds.
And,
Yeah, he does all the blinds covers.
Okay.
oh wow. And then here's some thing number 4.
Oh, that's very Kirby-esque. That's Kirby.
Very much so.
Like, yeah.
2 and 3 is still at the shop, so I can't read that yet. Here's the Batman Catwoman special. I've been loving this Batman Catwoman series. It's been really great.
Christmas.
And then here's one of many detectives that I need to catch up on. Here's Batman 1050. Great cover.
Yeah, it's beautiful art, man.
Irving Rodriguez has been one of the best new talents of this year.
We had them on the show, I believe.
Yeah.
We Ride Titans.
Yeah.
Great cover. I've been enjoying House of Slaughter.
Yep.
Now I can finally finish issue 4. I love the series once in the future, but it needs to end.
I hope it ends.
Covers
at
are
25.
even the covers are getting repetitive now. Wasn't this like on cover 2021? I've been getting into Power Rangers, and I've been reading a lot of the recent runs. So here's Power Rangers Universe, issue number 2. We also had these creators on the show. Stray Dogs, Dog Days.
We'll be having another one of them in the future.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nope, stop talking, go to jail.
All right. Here's some more Iron Man. I've been loving this series. And then Thor, great cover, issue 21.
God of buttholes. I mean
God of
hammers.
buttholes. Yes, this is still on my pull list because my roommates love it. Scumbag. Because my roommates love it. They read it. I leave this, and one other book that I'll show. And this at my roommate's door every time I
gotta
get my
catch it up.
pools.
But tell him to start reading instead of Scumbag, Righteous Thirst of Vengeance.
Yeah, I'll tell him to do that. And then finally can get back on some Noctera. Here's issue number 7.
Owen really said he really liked Noctera.
It's been good so far. So is this series, Geiger. It's the giant, humongous, giant size. So that's going to be fun to read. And then here's a series that I've been loving. So good. Sweet Paprika issue.
Yes.
I love this series. So good. Here's some more Batman. This is just the Batman series.
Don't forget issue 125.
It's probably in that pile.
It hasn't come out yet.
Then
Chip Zdarsky will start taking over with 125 in about a month or so.
Nice. I'm gonna put these over here. And then I got a few more. Back on the Avengers.
I have to get that issue. I still don't have it.
Oh, she sees someone's death. Here's some Mighty Morphin, issue number 16. The Eltarian War has begun. Should be good. And who's been a good boy? Who's been a murderous good boy? I cannot wait to read this.
Good boy is so fun.
It's so good. I love it. Here's your favorite cover, Rob, or one of your favorite covers.
Oh yeah.
Hopeful. What is this? This is your favorite artist right now, right?
It's my new favorite artist.
Pepe Le Pew.
Here's more Catwoman and Batman. It's a great cover.
Her babies are showing.
Here's your other favorite.
Just a little.
Yeah, I will. Just a tad bit. Here's your other favorite cover. Dang, look at that.
What is it? You said what's his first name? Oswald? Cobblepot? Oswald Cobblepot.
Earning money like it's nothing.
He's so hot.
Like my butt with $100 bills, though. You are hilarious.
In the new movie, he's the most. Cover. Oh, that is a nice cover. But yeah, new Batman movie. Penguin is the most Italian American ever.
Interesting.
Hey, what you doing there?
Hey, I'm a cold. Where's my penguins?
Where's my iceberg?
You guys are.
Hey, I'm a neglected baby.
I need the Batman to get off of my back, you see?
I've had a childhood trauma. I'm so angry.
Why? All right, I'm done.
All right, you got it out your system? You good? Here is Hulk number 4. I shitted on this series when it first came out. It's all right. I just don't like the concept of like turning the Hulk into a ship and making Bruce Banner the bad guy.
You shat on it.
Or shat.
I just shat out my heart.
This series has been good.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The Murderer has returned. And another good series. Ooh, this cover is so great. Homesick Pilots. I've been loving this series.
I love that.
I'm a couple issues behind, but I love it.
Orphan penguins over here.
But this is my favorite one. All-time favorite series. Kanto. Can't go wrong with this little guy. He is inspirational. And he will defeat the evil that is the Dark One. And I don't know. These are just some freebies that my shop doing. Why didn't they just do this with Marvel? I mean, with DC. And now it's Marvel.
Yep.
I don't know.
Hey, we need to make money.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Dark Crisis. I guess that's a big event coming up.
Always a crisis.
There's always a crisis. And that's all I got for now. I'll hop on with you this weekend, lady, and show you the rest.
Yeah, sure. I got a lot here.
Lady, you go first because I have a small chunk and I can go through that quick.
Okay. So first I want to show you my obsession for these Russell Doterman variants. I have a problem, but don't judge me. So he's been doing like these character variants. Okay, cool. There's Wolvie.
They have Weapon X on there.
I don't know.
think
Look for his
so.
little hat. Yep, there he is.
Yes,
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yep.
I'm happy.
And then this one is Black Widow. All these different
That is
iterations.
great.
And this one is Scarlet
She had a
Witch.
mask on this one?
Beautiful.
I know. Oh wait, there's still some more bomb ass shit. We got
Wait, she had an X-Men outfit on? No way.
Scarlet Witch.
She had like the X-Men training outfit. Go down, boom. That's
Yep.
so cool.
And
Then
is that a
there's one
zombie?
Scarlet
Her?
Witch.
That looks like evil.
No, I think that's when that dark dude that he finally took over her body. What's his name?
Oh, okay.
Lord.
Chthon or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, Cthon, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's when Chthon took over.
This one's a 1 in 25.
Beautiful.
Oh, nice.
I know. And then finally, my
Nice
favorite,
days.
my girl,
Love that.
Yes, I love it. I want it.
Aurora
I'm
Monroe.
kidding.
But I've got more Dobermans on the way. So yeah, I have a problem. I don't
There's
care.
more?
Yeah. I'll never tell. Okay. So then here's some that I bought today. Some of the new releases. I got the She-Hulk 3.
Beautiful.
Notorious JSW. It's the only one left, and I was kind of upset because it had color rub. But you know what? I'm just gonna be okay with that. Then
So nice though.
Moon Knight 10. Picked this one up because it was the only one left. So it's like, all right, whatever.
It's a nice cover.
Yeah. This came out last week, I think, but I wasn't able to get the A cover, and I wanted the A cover for this. So yeah.
How is that? Have you been reading it?
It's good, dude. I read it.
I need to.
It's Ron Mars. He knows what he's doing.
I got Strange number 2. It's
Oh,
Bad
Bjorn?
Madam Mask.
Freaking Bjorn Barons is doing work for Marvel as a cover artist. Thank you, if there is a God in heaven, for
This is
giving us
unreal.
Bjorn.
Then I got this badass Lemmy comic that came out. So he's a lead singer of Motorhead. Passed.
Hey, lady, I heard in the movie Airheads that Lemmy is God. Is that true?
Yeah. The West of Sundown. I don't know. Is Vault? It's a Vault number 1. And so
Empire.
Fucking great.
is it?
It's one of my favorite things Walt's done.
Okay, so I just took a shot because I was like, this looks interesting. I'll pick it up. And that's the story. I got a facsimile of Spectacular 1. I got a facsimile of ASM 238. Okay, that's first chunk. Now I'm going to show you some books that fuckity fuck. I'm going to show you some books that I picked up at the comic shop or that came in the mail. Oh my god, there's so many. This one's comic shop. 215 Hulk.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm working on my Hulk. So these are just some hole fillers, gap fillers. 243. But early direct. So mommy like. Picked up a thing too. Working on it. Needed a 2. Also picked up a 19 because it's so badass. Look at that, bro.
That's some good chunk.
I know it's a good chunk. It's a campy chunk. Marvel Team Up 77. Danvers. Miss Marvel. I got issue 89 with Nightcrawler. Badass. Issue 111, Devil Slayer, great floating heads cover. Really liked it. So the Defenders come in, guest starring the Dynamic Defenders.
Is that Abomination in the bottom lower hand left?
That's Demon.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe not Demon, to be like Gargoyle, whatever one. That's basically the same thing. 232 Daredevil.
That's a good issue.
Born Again.
Yeah.
Mazzachuli.
Spell that.
Mazzachuli. One of the best inkers ever.
Some Barry Windsor Smith goodness. Iron Man 232. Beautiful.
Hey, lady, how far into Monster are you?
138 pages.
Still doing better than me. I'm about 30 now.
Oh, okay. Iron Man 250. Look at this. Is that not sexy?
It is.
Badass, y'all. Iron Man 250. Okay. Found another one of these.
That's sweet.
377 second print. Oh yeah. So that's awesome. This is
I
the
just
first
need one third print. Just one.
Barry Windsor Smith. More goodness. The beginning of the Weapon X.
You found another one?
Yeah. I did. Then this came in the mail. Knight Rider.
Oh, yeah.
Some early Dick Ayers, man. Good stuff. And then issue 2. Truly bad butt. Then I found 3 Thors that were Mark Jewelers. So this one's a Mark Jeweler. I'm not taking it out, but look right here.
Dang, you'd be coming up on the Mark Jewelers.
I know. Do you see that star stamp in the comics code square?
That's how you can tell?
Well, no. It's got the Mark Jewelers insert, but I'm not taking the time. I'm not taking the time to open it.
Yeah.
Just take my word for it. They are. I know what I'm talking about. Then there's this one, 316, and then you can see this. Let's get it on the O. You see, between the O.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
There's that stamp.
I approve you.
And then this last one, I haven't found the stamp on this one. I found 2 stamps, but this one I haven't found a stamp on, but it's also a Mark Jeweler. So pretty wild. I don't know if you can see it, but
Little sliver.
yeah, anyways, you can in real life. Issue 102.
Oh, nice. I just got that a couple weeks ago.
Some Kirby goodness, baby.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then I got this in the mail from Robot Monster Island, Remy. Fantastic Four, issue 80.
So good.
Yeah.
It's a great cover.
Then issue 88.
Oh, I had that one. That's a great cover. A house there was.
And then issue 49. Hey, Dope Comics, if you're still watching, if you need issue 49, talk to me. I'll hook you up. But Daredevil 49. And
His
then
uniform ripped off.
boom. This one.
Oh,
Strange
Lord.
Tales 125.
Nice.
Submariner.
Man Cave gifted that to me.
Bad, but I actually
That's a
won
great
this out of a
cover.
blind pool box.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dang.
She gets all the luck.
I'd rather be lucky than good.
Lady Luck.
And you know, I don't have to show everything now. Rob, we can just go ahead and go to you.
All right, I guess I can do this quickly.
You got
Here
it.
we go. Here are all the comics that I
pile you gonna
picked up
start?
this week. This is everything this week, and because I have a new technique of how I'm doing everything, I am no longer putting shit in comic book bags. Everything goes in either OPP or nothing at all. This is everything that came out this week. I still have to do something about my Wonder Woman Historia. A little bit. All right. Alice and Ever After. I think this is...
I heard it was really good.
Is this the 1 in 25? Because I looked this up and I think it might be, but I could be wrong. It's just the variant, and the 1 in 25 might just be a virgin. But
Looks cool though.
That's
damn,
amazing.
cool Frieza.
Oh, also I got that Wonder Woman Historia too.
Oh yeah,
You can show it. You show it.
we'll both show it later. All right, here we go. This is the Joneses issue number 1 that came out. This is one of those futuristic stories. It's apocalypse, and oh yeah, they have superpowers. Red Room, because we don't have quite enough graphic violence in our lives.
Pumpkins.
And pumpkins. Hey, if you get that 1 in 10 cover, it has Peanut. It's awesome. Here is the Rocketeer, a new issue number 1 with IDW, and it should work out because they're coming out with a new movie. And I love Dave Stevens. Too bad he passed. All right, this is another one of those weirdly sized books because it's Stargirl. It's by
Stargirl.
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 Stargirl cover.
Here's a regular comic book size, and here's Stargirl.
Stargirl.
Oh, smaller.
It's small. Okay. I'll take it. Next up, just like how Lady got, West of Sundown is a vampire title. And no, Michael, we can't expect to keep up with the Joneses. Don't bother, just get what you're going to get. Hey, look, it's Wonder Woman Historia. This had some gorgeous art. Just to flip through a couple pages.
Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. Ace, you gonna get that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Worth it.
We gotta talk about it.
Next up,
We're
because I get all
wedding. God damn it!
Batman 122. Again, stick around for 125. That's when Zdarsky jumps on. Hey, we have another Batman Beyond title because there's the White Knight title that's coming out the other week. That's now going for about $12-20 online. But this is
more.
Year 1. Yeah, I know. I sound like Dr. Demento. Killing time because we don't have quite enough Mini and Maxi series being put out by Tom King. Batwoman, and this is Earth Prime. So here we have Ryan Wilder, and Ryan Wilder in this universe, it's the universe of all the CW shows. So she is Batwoman here. All right, those were all the DC books, and now I think I showed one of these last week. It just came in. This is Black Cat 11. It works really nice with the Black Cat issue 12 as the.
You have multiples?
I will have a multiple of this one very shortly because I ordered for $35 online the J. Scott Campbell signed. I might hook you up with this one.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Because I don't need 2 of anything, and I would be very okay having that signed one. I don't sell these things. So here's a couple things that I picked up from one thing that I picked up from a store that I passed by on Sunday. Down here in Miami, there's a store in Homestead, and here's the title of the store, and you can find them on Instagram at metropolis.comics.anime. And I picked up a few books. Here's one of them. This is the first in-story appearance of Shuri as the Black Cat.
Tommy like.
It was awesome. So they had some pretty well-priced books there. I think I'll be going back because they had some like thick chunks of Iron Man from like the 100s and 200s. So I'll buy the full thing of those and just go, hey, lady, do you need this individual issue or this one? Because I'd rather just have a full chunk. This is sad. You might have heard yesterday that Kelly Thompson posted on her Instagram that this would be the final issue of Black Widow, issue 15. Man, Adam Hughes has been killing it on the covers, but it ends with this issue. It's a shame, honestly. But there's a lot of series that are ending now. Spider-Woman just ended. This is ending. They're ending a bunch of titles. So jumping off point.
Oh,
Fornes. This is Jorge Fornes or George. I don't know if it's Jorge or George, but we'll let you correct me in the chat.
I got that one.
Blinds.
Wasn't there a Hulk cover that did that?
Yes,
There's a
I just
bunch of
picked that up
them.
the other week. It's in that other stack over there.
Yeah, I have the Hulk one and I have the Ghost Rider one.
Now, guys.
There's a
Raza?
Ghost Rider one?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a chance to buy the Spider-Man
missed
one,
so
but
much.
I didn't. In the butthead.
Now this, I think that the artist was kind of told, hey, you're working in Marvel books and you're doing some Star Wars. And then he was told, hey, you're doing Captain Marvel. And then he kind of forgot that it wasn't a Star Wars book.
Oh, what is that? An annual?
Yeah, annual issue #1, Raza variant. It is
Oh,
so
mother lover.
pretty. But yeah, I kind of get that lightsaber vibe. Now, this helped complete my run of the cat. I have issue 1 and 2. You see my issue 1 over there. Here's issue 3.
Meow.
Nice copy. It's like a 7.5. The other one, issue 4, is like
Captain Hook? Peter!
he kind of looks like a cross between Hook and Fu Manchu.
Yeah.
And here, issue 4, the final issue, before they go, we give up. We don't know how to sell or market female characters. So we're just going to change your character entirely. Devil's Reign, issue #6. I don't know what happens here, but it's going to spin into the new Daredevil series.
I've only read issue 1. I need to read the rest of it.
Who's that?
Luke Cage from Bayer? What?
Oh, you didn't know about this? There was supposed to be.
Hell no.
So there was supposed to be a Luke Cage City of Fire miniseries that was going to spill out from Devil's Reign, but that got completely canceled after the artist and the writer were already working on it. They finished the first issue. I think they were well into 2 and maybe even into 3, and Marvel went, nope, we're cutting that book. But are we going to get paid? Little scary things working for Marvel. You might get put on a book, but it might not come out. Here's Fantastic Four, issue #42. We have the Wrecking War that's happening in the background, so it should be a fun read. Moon Knight, this is when you have the first appearance of some guy that came out in a story that was a digital only. But I don't know. Moon Knight's awesome, and I don't care whether this might be a new bad guy or it's Jed McKay. This guy is the new architect for Marvel right now. So if you see his name on a book, you should probably pick it up. Hey, this is one of those books that I picked up from these guys. The first appearance of Lore. Comics.anime on the Instagram. And I picked this up from my comic shop. And the comic shop that I go to, I'm sure everybody already knows.
Wait, I like Spectacular Spider-Man.
I need the issue before this. That one would be the first appearance of the Foreigner, which really I don't give a shit. I want to get it for the Sabretooth. But this shot,
I want
the
first appearance of Puma. That's what I want.
Now, the shop that I go to get all this stuff, it's Miami Fresh Comics. This guy, John Freshley, he does a claim sale auction, usually every Thursday about 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Otherwise, sometimes he does it on Sundays at about 11 o'clock. This is where I pick up most of my books. Next, that came out this week, we got a She-Hulk #3 with Jack of Hearts on the cover. And now I need to find out the first appearance of Jack of Hearts, which I already know is in that. I have the issue over there. It stems originally from the series that gave us White Tiger, and it's like the issue after that or the one after that. And that I need to find Jack of Hearts. That's all I'm saying. Here we get the notorious, it's not Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but she wishes she was. She'd certainly be better than Amy COVID Barrett. Yes, I know that I said her name is Amy COVID Barrett. I'm never going to call her by that middle name. She's Amy COVID Barrett. Take that, Spider Punk. Radical, right? Too bad the paper really sucks on a lot of these Marvel comics that came out today, because usually these things are in great condition, but there's like ticks all along the spines of a lot of these today. The paper just seems very different. I don't know if they're going through a different distributor or not, but here's a book I had when I was a kid. Just picked it up from those same people from this past weekend. It's Terror #1. Here we get The Thing. This is the variant cover. I love the shading on this is really pretty.
Beautimus.
And he's eating a hoagie. I could always use some more Ben Grimm eating a hoagie. Here we get that Bjorn Barons, and we were told by somebody earlier, I think it was Air Spider, that Bjorn, that's one of the characters in ABBA. I don't know how we got on to talking about ABBA so much this episode, but there we go. And I just learned that I was this many days old today that they compiled each of their first names into the name of the band.
Just like NSYNC did.
There you go. Hey, this helped also finish out today my entire run of every single issue of Miles Morales' comic book. So I finished out my entire run of Ultimate Comics Spider-Man today. Here's issue number 14, followed up by 15. And these were just ones I missed. And that sort of happens when you pick up the volume of content that I wind up. Issue 19, this was the last issue I needed. Now, this is another book that I picked up from the metropolis.comics.anime. This is the not-for-sale Toys R Us, or sometime, I think it came with a toy. But it was the not-for-sale version. It was $7.99. Yes,
like the X-Men Legends or something.
Something like that. Valkyrie, issue number 1. And, hedge my bets, and it was $3. Deadpool, I always just kind of want to see what is Rob Liefeld working in the world today and how is he still doing it. Marauders, issue number 1. Here we get back onto some more of those X-Men titles. I'll pick up the first issue because they're
issue number 1.
Yeah, they rebooted it.
No way.
I might get the first 2 or 3 and go, you know what? I'm done. Like X-Force number 27. I thought this was over, but it was in my poll, so I picked it up. Just like another X-Force annual number 1 that came out today too.
This is why I can't do the X shit anymore.
And X-Men Red.
Yeah.
Volume fucking 2, because the person that wrote the first one was Tom Taylor. But hey, it should probably be good. They're on a Rocco. It's going to be led by Storm. And who's the writer on this? Oh, it's Al Ewing. So at least this might be one of the better written of the X-Men titles.
X-Men Red was good.
Yeah, it was. So I'll take anything that's done by Ewing, by Zdarsky, by who am I forgetting? McKay. Yeah, you put them on a book, yeah, sure, I'll pick it up. But most of the other X-Men titles, I'm sure they're good. There's just too many of them. Now, we're coming up at the end of the show here. I just want to let everybody know, next week at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, we will be having a community day, and we will be having on Chi Comic Girl, and their name is Haley Desort. So stay tuned for that next Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So we're going to go around the room and find out what is going on their channels, where they're appearing. Doug, do you have any appearances that you're going to be making, and where can people find you?
Man, I mean, until Heroes Con in Charlotte, I won't be doing any shows until then. So pretty much just finding me on, the typical social medias that you showed down there right now. And hey, anybody wants to message me on any of those, feel free. I'm pretty good about responding to those things. And my website, of course.
So are you making any appearances on any other conventions coming up other than Heroes Con?
Nothing that's in stone yet. As we get from the pandemic and things try to get a little bit smoother, they're taking their time, making kind of like letting you know when you're going to get your table. So until I'm sure I got a table or not, that kind of hampers on whether I'm going or not. So right now, Heroes is the only one for sure.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Ace, I would probably take a guess, but anything come up on the Twitter sphere for you?
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about how in the past 4 days I have played 64 hours of Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Kirby's so fun.
It is.
I could
I'm
understand that.
jealous.
So I don't judge you one bit.
I've never played a Kirby game in my life, but I tried out the demo and I
And
played
now
it
you
like
know
20
why.
times. And now it's
Oh,
my
you need to
favorite
play
game ever.
catch up with the other one.
Mhm. Kirby's so fun.
I'm
Kirby's
currently
Dream Land.
Yes, I agree.
92% through the game because I'm very slow at video games.
Okay.
So if you don't wind up signing on for ABBA this weekend, we'll know why. Kirk, do you have anything coming up? Show tomorrow night, maybe with Gorilla Todd, or anything with JB, or any of the Invincible? Anything.
Most likely me and Todd will be on tomorrow. It'll probably be on his channel instead of mine. Yes, next this Tuesday coming up, I will be doing the next installment with JP on Invincible. I think this is it. This is the last episode. Like, it's all she wrote. We'll be finishing up the rest of the series, which I'm looking forward to, and see how everything is tied together. So it'll be good. It'll be good. So if you have time, come on by JP Budget Collecting, his channel, on Tuesday at, I think, 5 o'clock my time. What is it? 8 o'clock East Coast time?
I think I might be able to handle
Yeah.
that.
Hey,
Lady, do you have anything coming up on your channel or any other appearances you're making?
We'll probably do something Friday. I'll show more of my and I'll be on I think I'm gonna be on Southern Comic Geeks this weekend on Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time. And I'll be around, doing things and stuff. Just that's all I have to say. I hope everybody has a good night. Thank you for having me on. That was very nice to meet you. Wagner. Wagner's got to be a part of your name. It's Wagner. Doug Wagner. Sorry, I'm tired.
It's okay.
I can't
I've been
sleep.
called worse.
Okay, cool.
It's been a long day. We thank everybody so much for watching. Doug, thank you so much for coming on the show again tonight. You are welcome back anytime, my friend. The fact that you're a comic book fan, you're a writer, you're working in the industry today, we admire you so much for the work that you put out and continuing on with the hobby that we love so much. Thank you so much for coming, good sir.
Oh, thank you. And it was truly my pleasure. It was great meeting all of you. I loved it.
Thank you.
yeah, I agree.
Best of luck.
Now, again, we're going to be back next week. Next week, we're going to be having on She Comic Girl. That is Haley Desort. We'll be back next week, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. This has been another episode of Not Near Mint. Thank you all so much for watching, and we love you. Read more of your comic books and interact with us on the social medias. You can find me on Twitter at Rob Worst. You can find me over on Instagram, which I don't post much on, at Not Near Mint. And otherwise, see you next week. Love you. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.